Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any question, please write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you, and I will answer you promptly. At this coming Saturday on May 6th, I'm going to be at the Japan House Annual Missouri Festival. I'm going to do a cooking class demonstration of fried rice. If you happen to be in the area, please stop by and just see me. I will be there between noon and 6 p.m. Below the video is a link to the festival. You can find out more about it. Since I'm going to serve fried rice to a large number of people, I need to have a high power burner that will allow me to cook everything very quickly. So I bring out my 64,000 BTU burner, which is about 4 times more powerful than the burner that you normally use inside your home kitchen. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how I'm going to use this burner, because cooking on a high BTU burner is very different than cooking in a burner that normally comes with your kitchen stove. And this is an entirely different approach. And today I'm going to demonstrate how I cook a dish that actually is a very suitable dish to cook in this high power burner, is to fry spaghetti noodles. This is followed by cooking a vegetable tofu dish with Chinese sausages to go over the noodles. It is an excellent dish. It probably is one of our favorite dish of all time. This originally is a turkey cooker. It comes with a 45,000 BTU burner head, and I use it to cook outside for quite some time, and then I stop cooking with it, and then the burner starts to get rusted. So recently I replaced it with a 64,000 BTU burner. It is a very impressive flame. When I turn it on, it roars like a jet engine, and as you can see that the flame is really powerful. Now the 64,000 BTU is about 4 times more powerful than most of the home kitchen's burner. Obviously, normally you do not need to have such high power burner to cook, but if you want to cook everything quickly, this definitely comes in very handy, and this is what I'm going to use to cook on that day. To enhance my cooking capacity, I'm going to cook in a 15-inch iron wok. I love this wok because the large size not only allow me to cook food with larger capacity, but it also reduces spilling. Next to the stainless steel wok, this is probably my favorite wok. And here's a comparison of the size of this wok when I put my 14-inch Cuisinart stainless steel wok over it. Just for fun, I set the heat setting to the highest possible on the burner. As you can see, the wok heat up extremely fast. You can see smoke coming from it. And then I add about 2 tablespoons of oil, and I try to turn the wok a little bit to have the oil coat the different surface part of the wok. As you can see that under these heating conditions, the oil starts to smoke very quickly, probably in less than about 10 to 15 seconds. And now I let the oil to smoke just a little bit more to season the wok. Next, I add the spaghetti noodles to the wok. First of all, I'm glad that I'm cooking outdoor, because the amount of oil film coming from the wok is unacceptable if I have been cooking indoor. I'm sure in this case my wife will be complaining almost immediately when the room is filled with oil film. Now I use a pair of tongs to turn the noodles as quickly as I can, because everything is cooking very quickly. Now, in order to stir fry the spaghetti noodle and to create a kind of a crispy texture that you want, and also you do not want the noodle to stick to the bottom surface of the wok, one important thing is that you should leave the noodles in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. In fact, 40 hours would be preferable. If you don't do that, there will be too much moisture accumulate on the surface of the noodle. This will cause the noodle to stick to the bottom of the wok and get burned, and in this case you will ruin the dish. As you can see here, that the wok is very well seasoned and the noodle is dried enough. I do not have any noodle stick to the bottom surface of the wok. But as you can tell that everything is go on very quickly, and if I do not turn the noodles right away, I know some of them will get burned. And this is probably one advantage of cooking with this high BTU burner, is that everything cooks very quickly. Of course, the disadvantage is that you really have to pay attention. Otherwise, you're going to burn your food very badly, and that can happen in an instant. If I just look away a little bit, do not pay attention, I might end up have the food burned. As you can see, I constantly turning the noodles, and but I want to make sure that the noodles are being fried evenly, so turning it is really important. And pan-fried noodles is one of the favorite dish for both my wife and I. We normally get pan-fried noodles in a Chinese restaurant. Pan-fried noodles is very much a Cantonese type of dish, and quite often pan-fried noodle is called for specific type of noodles. It usually is egg noodles. So for a long time, the only time when I will do pan-fried noodles, either I have those egg noodles on hand, but those egg noodles sometimes they're quite expensive, and I cannot get them readily. And until one time, I discovered that I can actually pan-fry spaghetti noodles, and it turned out to be as good as any that I would eat at a Chinese restaurant. The flavor definitely is different from the egg noodles, but when I compare two of them, I don't think one is either better or worse than the other. So this is definitely a good alternative, and particularly since I always have spaghetti noodles on hand. A lot of time now, I usually will make at least about 2 pounds of spaghetti noodles that I boil them in my Cucina 14-inch stainless steel wok. So I always have extra noodles on hand. And that turned out to be a very good way to make best use of the resources that's available to you. And by able to use these spaghetti noodles for many different type of dishes, it greatly enhances both the diversity and the flexibility of your meals. One thing I must say, the greatest advantage of home cooking is that you can control how much you want to cook your food ingredients. In this case, I can control how much charring or burning to the noodles that I would like. A lot of time when I eat at a restaurant, they either burn it too much or they do not char it sufficiently. So in this case, I can carefully monitor and control the outcome of this pan-fried noodles. As you can see, it does really well because of the high heat coming from that burner, and at the same time, it also cooks it much faster. In fact, this is probably takes only about half of the time that I would have been cooking the same way in my kitchen with the 15,000 BTU burner. Obviously, you do not want to do this in your kitchen because you can see that it generates a lot of oil film, a lot of smoke, and this definitely is not something that you want to do inside your kitchen. But however, when you do it outdoor, it's just a lot of fun, and it also provides a very different flavor because of the high heat. The noodles are burned in a slightly different way. And when we ate it last night, and I told my wife, how did she feel about it? She said, well, it definitely tastes different, but she could not really tell me which one is better. In fact, she said she has enjoyed both of them. So now the noodle is pretty much done to the way I want to, and I'm going to set it aside and put it on a plate, and I'm going to use as a foundation for another dish which I'm going to cook. And right after frying the noodles, I cook the next dish, which is a soy tofu puff dish with bok choy, portobello mushroom, and Chinese sausages. I also cook this dish on the burner, and in this case, I turn on the burner quite a bit because I want to have a better control how I cook this dish. Otherwise, everything is going to go so quickly. Still, this dish takes less time to cook because of the high heat power of the burner. And then I layer the contents of this dish over the pan-fried noodles, and that makes a very nice dish. We have a lot of vegetables, and I use the Chinese sausage to provide more as a condiment rather than as a main ingredient to enhance the flavor of the dish. So if you have never tried pan-fried noodles, you might want to give it a try. I have other videos that I have done the pan-fried noodles that I use a regular burner and use my stainless steel wok. So you can take a look at that if you would like. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine using my fast cooking system so that your home cooking is practical, efficient, creative, and fun. So if you'd like to learn more about my cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.